SFWA is added again with a bunch of other literary organizations that all co-signed this statement attacking Donald Trump's executive order that decrees there are two genders. Oh, yes. Very exciting stuff, guys. We're going to get into this in just a moment. Hit that like and subscribe button as we talk about all things going on in science fiction and fantasy. And this hits SFWA the hardest. SFWA really pushes the gender stuff beyond anything else. If you're not familiar with this organization, they're called the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association. They used to be called the Science Fiction Writers of America, and of course they don't like that anymore. And so this organization was originally founded by some heavy hitters in science fiction, like back in the day, who just wanted to go at big corporate publishers and make sure contracts didn't screw authors. It was like a kind of a legal service, sort of like a unionizing sort of situation. It was a good thing originally. And then after that, it's been corrupted and taken over by woke weirdos. Some of them you see pictured, and some crazy activists who don't actually make any money in science fiction anymore. They're not. Most of them are not even professionals. We were mocking on my stream the other day that the lady who is running it right now really does not have a professional catalog whatsoever. Nobody buys her books. Totally a fake cloud system. And so they use their club now to be political activists and just harass everybody out there. And, of course, target people who do not have the same political views as they do. It's a really obnoxious thing. It has nothing to do with science fiction, nothing to do with fantasy. And that is where this club's at these days. So let's get into this in just a moment. I'm John Delarose. Again, hit that like and subscribe button. And I am a science fiction author myself. This is my Aritian War trilogy, and it starts with the stars entwined here. This is about a spy who goes onto an alien starship and brings back information for Earth that's crucial to the war because things are not going well for Earth. He then ends up personally entangled in a way that he can't even imagine. It escalates over 3 books in an epic space opera saga. You're going to love this, guys. If you like Babylon 5, old Star Trek, this is going to be for you. Grab it in the description below. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. And I'm working on a new trilogy that's going to spin out of this right now. It's a great place to start with my work, guys, and appreciate you for reading. All right, so the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association and the Horror Writers Association, they're supposed to be trade organizations supporting genre fiction authors. Instead, they're focused on political activity for extreme leftist transgender ideology. While their organizations continue to fail, led by authors who don't make professional living in the arts, they issued joint statements with other literary organizations attacking Donald Trump's executive orders defending women. And if the background is, last year they had some scandals. A bunch of board members stepped down. There were allegations that they were mistreating a disabled employee. Yes, this is the woke guys, of course. And then one of their board members was accused of stealing a white woman's story. They removed him from the board at the end of the year to further his clout. It was for some African anthology or something like that. Very funny stuff. It was also uncovered during the process that the board sent funds to a short story anthology to support the Ukraine war effort, misusing funds of members for their political activism rather than focusing on science fiction and fantasy. However, it seems the club and other several literary organizations are more than happy to turn themselves to politics once again. And if you don't know, Donald Trump issued an executive order yesterday in the defense of women, and it decreed there are two genders. Oh no, the scariest thing ever. And it affirmed that, men would go to men's restrooms, women would go to women's restrooms, pretty standard stuff that normal people think. But SFWA and their ilk are mentally ill. And so let's just go to the co-signers of this first before we get into their full statement. Look at this. The American Booksellers Association, American Booksellers for Free Expression, Andrews McGreal, Annie's Foundation, Audio Publishers Association, Authors Against Book Bans. Yeah, right. These people are the same ones who tried to ban me from the industry. Barry Book Powell Press, Cardinal Rule Press, Charlesburg Publishing, Chestnut Publishing House. They sound very, very important. The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. What's this have to do with comic books? Nothing, right? Deborah Sloan and Company and Kids Buzz. Developmental Text, Empowering Latino Future. What's this have to do with Latinos? My gosh, these people are insane. Every library, Firewater Media Group, Florida Freedom to Read Project, Forward Reviews, Freedom to Read Project, Griffin Publishing Consulting, LLC. I wonder if they were on the dole with USAID stuff. Independent Book Publishers Association, Ingram Spark. Wow, really ridiculous on that level. Judging by Cover Bookstore, Lafayette Citizens Against Censorship, Lambda Literary, Latino 247, Media Group, Wee Lind, Library Futures, Levine Querido. Holy crap, this is a lot of crazy. Macmillan. Oh, yeah, that's one of the worst evil publishers out there. As we go through this right here, there's too many. publishers and writers of San Diego and Orange County. Like, who are all these people? And why are they all just up on arms on this, right? So this is a part of it. We Need Diverse Books. There's an organization called We Need Diverse Books. Really? Oh, my gosh. Let's look at this. Are they funded by USAID? Oh, boy. Uh-oh. This is ugly. This is a oh, no. This is who's doing this. This is the absolute state. Oh, my gosh. So these companies are obviously just not even involved with helping their own people, helping anything in the literary communities at this point, and it's just ridiculous. So on January 20th, the White House issued an executive order stating the United States government will only recognize two sexes, male and female, as defined at conception. Oh, triggered conception. This ripple effect will undoubtedly affect public schools, public libraries, and literature that is shelved in both. Oh, gosh. Among the many harm... And by the way, this is the whole grift here, because none of these people sell books. Like, I sell books to you directly, and you read my books. These people don't get their books read. All this crap right here, this stuff, it all gets on these bestseller lists and all this crap, but they all go to libraries, as they say. Libraries, public schools. So all these government organizations buy these books from these publishers. It's a big, big scam. And that's how they stay in business. And so all these people who don't get read, that nobody actually reads their books because nobody wants to deal with this stuff, are going to lose their grift. And that's what all this is about. That's so funny. Among the many harms it causes, the order targeting transgender, intersex, non-binary, and gender non-conforming Americans threatens unconstitutional censorship that could have a grave impact on literature for years to come. In dismissing trans, intersex, and non-binary identities, the order blacklists LGBTQIA plus literature and invites, these are the people that blacklist anybody who's conservative at all. This is the ironic part. And invites the government to dictate the perspectives, beliefs, and identities that can exist in public forums receiving federal funding. Again, receiving federal funding. Stop grifting off of federal funding. Nobody wants to read your crappy woke books, and that's what you're mad about, because it wouldn't exist in the free marketplace, and they know they can't exist in the free marketplace. These people are the worst grifters. They really are. Amounting to financial coercion. No, you're the financial coercion. You using the government to do this is the financial coercion. That's the whole deal. Arbitrary withholding of funds. See, they're owed it. Look at how entitled these people are. Withholding of funds. No, these funds are not yours. You are not owed them. You are a loser, and you cannot sell books. That's your problem. The censorship may begin with LGBTQIA plus perspectives, but it will not end there. Allowing for the government to censor one group erodes the First Amendment rights of all Americans. You see how they're conflating their right to just do whatever they want with the government must pay me to do whatever they want, right? This is so insane. If allowed to stand, the order will create new funding requirements imposed not only on federal entities, but private citizens and institutions who contract with them. Those requirements can be manipulated to dictate speech. The broader chilling effect on literature should be even harder to undo. Writers rely on funding from sources like the National Endowment of the Arts and the National... See, this is it. All these people rely on government funding. They do not sell books themselves, and they're a whole grift structure, and they're panicking. I love this because they deserve it. Sell books. Learn how to sell books, you idiots. Trans, non-binary, and intersex experience is vastly underrepresented in literature and disproportionately targeted by bans. During the 2022-2023 school year, 30% of the books included LGBTQIA plus characters or themes. So you see, they're trying to put gay porn into classrooms for your children, and they're mad that they're not going to go into the classrooms. That's censorship in their opinion. This is crazy. These people are nuts. Such a mask off right here. Such censorship robs us of perspectives that enrich the American story. Through the executive order in question, tries to paint LGBTQIA plus people and allies as bullies, enforcing their perspectives on others through legal and socially coercive means. They do. They absolutely do. That's exactly what the order does itself. Remember, not funding it is the problem. Just as book banning pressure groups have done since 2020 on school boards and libraries around the country, the fate of trans, intersex, and non-binary people is not a political ideology. It's a matter of human and civil rights, and freedom of expression. Go express yourself away from government funding, my friends. You try to do this. Make it happen. You do it all to your heart's content in your own little circles where nobody wants to read it, including your own authors. Nobody reads your own books, and that's how it kind of goes. That's why you have no support. Government erosion of those rights should concern all Americans, regardless of their investments in LGBTQI+. This executive order is censorship, pure and simple. It has no place in a free society. Again, not paying for things is censorship, apparently. It must be rescinded or stayed as soon as possible, and latest before the implementation deadline of February 19th, 2025. Financially blacklisting. Yeah, that's it. Get woke, go broke. Trans, intersex, and non-binary perspectives will rob us all of vital literature yet to be written while insulting the dignity of LGBTQIA+ people everywhere. This return to McCarthyism by other means is a leap backwards to a grim chapter in American history. Good. Go away. Wild. So this is what they're doing. They're trying to play victim because they're not going to get funded for their little art projects by the government that they want to do. They don't want to sell themselves because they know that nobody's going to buy what they want because they're focused on the strangest niches, fetishes out there, and they're trying to foist them upon children in classrooms, and they're the victims somehow. Oh, yes. It's Crimea River. This is what SFWA's doing. They're not a science fiction organization, as you can tell. All they do is this kind of crap. And this is why their organization's going to fail. I'm sure they're getting federal grants just for their org as it is, and it needs to go away. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to grab my Stars Entwined and the 2 following books. It builds into a great trilogy, guys. You're going to love this weekend. Grab it on ebook, print, and audio, either way, or all of the ways. Hey, that'd be great, too. It's in the description below. Thanks for supporting real science fiction and real independent efforts out here, guys. This is where it's at, and I appreciate you for being here.